Good evening and welcome to the program. This is the Limelight. My name is Prince Apollo. Now, we are in a school fees season, and school fees season can be really stressful to parents and guardians, especially when it comes at a time like this, when the economy is not doing right, and especially in an education environment where there is no school fees policy from government or any regulation on how school fees must be paid and how much the parents should pay in schools. Now we need to, this evening, look at the school fees hustle and possibly look for advice on how parents can navigate this challenging period of school fees. I've been lucky to have on the show this evening Mr. Semaganda Ronald, and Semaganda Ronald is a school administrator because he is the principal of Namungona High School. He is also a policy maker because he represents Namungona in the Division Council for Lubaga Division, but he is also an educationalist. Let me speak to Ronald, and he tells us what he thinks about this season and how best can parents or guardians navigate this school fees season. Welcome to the program, Ronald. Quickly, I've talked about this season being so stressful for parents. Is it true?
Very true. I will start by greeting our dear viewers.
True.
At the same time, thank you, Mr. Apollo, for hosting me here. I believe, as a matter of fact, by the end of this program, our dear viewers, parents, will benefit from the program, especially the situation that are going to discuss, the hassle of school fees. It is indeed a very challenging situation.
True.
Because it comes from the challenging economy. The economy is indeed stressing everyone in the country. Money has become so scarce. There is grinding poverty in the country, and education, of course, as a matter of fact, has become expensive.
That is true.
So parents, I'm 100% sure that they are going through a lot, including myself as a parent. I know what it takes, because actually I'm the best person to talk about this topic because I'm a parent. So I feel whatever they feel on the side of parents. So I'm an administrator, I'm a teacher. So still, I also know what parents go through when I receive them as a teacher.
Exactly. Let's go straight and hear from you. What can parents or guardians do to avoid this stress during such a time like school fees season?
One of the things I love to request the parents, first of all, is that let them take their children to schools that they can afford. You know, we have three types of schools. Our education setting, for example, in Uganda, one of the things parents don't know, I'd love to share with them, is that it has been categorized into three. You know, we have a category of schools where you have to report with zero balance. They are there.
You have to pay 100%.
Of course, you have to report with a fully paid bank slip. So we have a category of those schools. Second, we have got a category of schools that accept installments. Those are some of the schools that I do represent. Schools like Namungona High. It is a private school. However, when you pay something, your child can study as you look for the balance. So that is category number 2. We also have another category whereby you don't pay anything. I think you are aware about that, the UPE schools.
The UPE schools.
USE schools.
Those are government aided
Yeah, you
schools.
don't pay anything. And even those schools, even when the headmaster says, let the parents come up with some small money for porridge, you see the president also comes in and complains, why are you asking for money for porridge? So those schools are there where they don't pay anything. So a parent has to look at that kind of perspective I'm trying to share this evening, and also gets to understand where you're going to take your child. Are you in the level of taking a child to those schools that require zero balance on the reporting day? Are you in the level? Are you someone who was hit by COVID? You are someone who is struggling in business. You're someone who has been chased from job for a year now. So those kind of things. So the challenge you have with our parents is that there's also a competition. By the way, parents taking their children to school has also become a style, a fashion, a sense of competition, that when you take your child in a school where they pay zero balance, where they pay huge sums of money, the society will think that you are well off. It is a very poor mentality that is disturbing the parents. So we are discussing about the stress that this school fees week has created, but on the other hand, the parents are creating the stress for themselves. There's that kind of competition. Because your neighbor, because a family member, for example, has taken his or kid, for example, to King's College, you also want to take yours there. Whereby the school fees of Budo may be 4 million per term. That is even your capital. You find that you're going even to lose your job. You're going to lose your work by the means of struggling to pay for school fees. So I do request the parents, please. I've listed for you the categories of the schools we have. So where do you lie? Because as a matter of fact, if you are totally not employed anywhere, it is okay. You take them to the UPE schools. If you are employed, for example, if you look at us the side of teachers, most teachers, apart from the science teachers that they increased recently, who are getting 4 millions, I think you're about that, the 2.8 millions. Most of the teachers are between 600,000 and 1 million. So those are people I'm encouraging to go to the second world schools that accept the idea of installments. So that is one of the points I love to share with the parents. Another thing is,
before you go to another one, you are saying it's a choice a parent or a guardian must make during either at the beginning of the term or when they are taking the kid for the first time to school, to ensure that they look for those schools that actually whose requirements fit in their pockets.
Automatically, it's what I'm talking about. Because even these schools, if you look at them, we have got a lot of competition. If you look at our education setting, best schools are going to be determined on the results. Getting results is not easy. Schools have to put in a lot. They have to make sure that the teachers are motivated. They have to make sure that the students are motivated. They have to look for all materials here and there. So you find these schools at times they have no alternative apart from increasing the what? Increasing the school fees. That's why I'm encouraging the parents. So are you that kind of parent who can afford such schools? So I simply request them to remain calm. Let them go to schools where there can be a mutual agreement between the parent and the school. There are some schools that have got payment plans. I've been experiencing, actually, especially this term, this week. There's a kind of style that also have other schools to develop. So parents who are struggling financially, you can design for them a payment plan. Most of them are earning every day. You know, we have parents that are going to be earning daily. We have those that are going to be earning monthly. We also have those ones that we earn quarterly. There are also those ones that also earn by chance. For example, the brokers, they earn by chance, the middlemen. But those ones who are earning daily, you can design for them a payment plan to maybe at least every week, every week
you save some specific amount of money.
You simply sit down and say maybe by the end of this term, maybe you're supposed to pay 900. So if we are to divide the number of weeks in a term, in the 3 months, that maybe in a week you'll be bringing 200. So you find that this has also made life for the parents a bit easier. But comes to those schools that accept that arrangement.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Still, I also bring in a point. So where you cannot talk to the school administration, you cannot see the school headmaster, the school principal, you cannot see the school administrator, and you discuss this, please don't take your child, unless you can fit in the other category of the schools that we talked about in the first place.
Okay. What is your next recommendation for parents or guardians in trying to avoid this stressful period during this time when kids are going back?
My next recommendation is I love to inform the parents. They should not look at education as they have to educate their kids, but it shouldn't be the last option. They should strike a balance. You know, I need to be open to before the parents. True. They should strike a balance. Let them not sell what they have worked for years. You know, we have parents who are selling plots of land at this time. Their animals, right? By the way, this week animals are on sale. Their buildings are on sale. Land is on sale.
In quest to get money for school fees.
I would love to simply request the parents, please don't do that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to sell them, and at the end of the day, your child is not automatic. You know the Uganda we have, that you get jobs.
You're not so sure
You're not so sure.
This money will be recouped in the kid you're investing.
That's why. That's why you take where you can afford. Let your property remain. At the end of it all, after education, what I encourage the parents is let your child simply build or develop your source of income. For example, you have got, I'll give an example of a hotel. Okay. You have got a hotel. You educate your kid. Let the kid not quest so much in searching for jobs to work in offices. If the hotel has been maybe a street hotel, the kid who has got a degree, for example, in catering, can change this hotel from a street hotel maybe to a one in a building, something like that, to a modern restaurant, something like that. And then life will change at the end of the day. But the challenge we have in Uganda is that most of the parents think that the end result of it all must be the office job and the what you sell whatever you have, and then still you remain on the losing side.
I think you're speaking about being over-ambitious of what our kids may possibly turn into way in life. That possibly, if I'm a peasant, I want my kid to grow and become a very important person. It's natural. But you're saying, well, we may not all get those big government offices or government jobs.
Because there are few and we are very many. That is the fact. Those jobs are going to be very few, and for us we are very many. Let your kids do your job, but we simply expect education to improve your job. For example, you are a farmer who may be who's going to be doing the local farming on an acre of land. You have educated your kid. You expect your kid to come up with modern farming.
If I'm, for instance, a sugarcane farmer, then I can teach and train my child to improve from what I have been doing
from sugarcane farming,
possibly they
maybe to a sugar factory.
Yes, a sugar factory in the area.
That is how we can actually change our lives. The challenge the parents are going to be having, for them, they want to look for
degrees
for the suit jobs,
those
the ties, and the what. That should not eat up their minds. They shouldn't be stressed. So I'm here to preach hope. So simply take the kids where you can afford. And by that, as a matter of fact, what parents don't know, most of the great people in this world, they haven't been to those so much schools. I understand parents maybe want the network of the rich parents, the network of maybe the ministers and whatsoever. But many people, we can even cite examples on this program. For example, if you look at like you told them, I'm a politician, and I subscribe to the Ashante platform, where His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi is the president, believe me or not, is the most loved Ugandan.
Yeah, he didn't go very far, as in formal education.
He went very far as when it comes to education, or as far as education is concerned, but he went to normal schools.
Yeah.
If actually look at his biography, he went to normal schools, Robert Kyagulanyi. But right now, as a matter of fact, he's the most loved Ugandan.
Yeah, possibly. Let me hope so. Let's also look at another possibility. You as an educationalist, do you think government should come up with a policy? Actually, it has been
the pipeline.
In the pipeline, there are proposals for a school fees policy to regulate school fees, both in public and private schools. Do you support that idea? Because I think, the whole idea behind this policy is to deal with this school fees stress.
Thank you so much for that idea. I do second the idea of school fees regulation. That is standardizing the school fees. For example, coming up with a policy where all schools must pay 500, must pay maybe $1 million boarding schools. The idea is indeed a bright one, especially to address the situation that we are in, of school fees stress. However, it is a very difficult policy to put into practice because the government has failed to come up and give in a hand, especially on the private schools, which are the majority. So there is no way you can come and regulate something that you don't assist or that you don't help. So that's why I want to use this platform. Maybe the government officials that are seeing us. So as you are thinking about, as you're proposing the idea of school fees regulation, also thinking about giving practical assistance to these private schools. Because when you come and give us assistance, then regulation is going to be so simple. But you can't regulate what you don't support.
Yeah. Where you do not have control.
You can't regulate where you don't give in any assistance. Because you don't know how we survive. And some of the challenges that we are facing as private schools, they come from the government. I appreciate our brothers in the science department for the increment, but it is also a problem to us because government wakes up one day and says, now science teachers are going to get 4 million. So as a matter of fact, even as private schools, we have to increase the salary, at least be slightly close to what the government is giving. So those are some of the challenges we are facing. Unless the government can come up and say, for example, we shall take up the idea of salary payments of all teachers.
Okay.
Then we can appreciate and welcome the idea of regulation or standardization, because at least you would have waived us and removed that kind of burden. If maybe the government can say, when it comes to feeding all boarding schools, first we shall provide the portion, as it was doing in COVID. We shall provide the portion and the business to all private schools. Then thereafter, you must charge this and this such kind of amount. But if the government cannot do that, then the idea of regulation is going to be very much difficult. It is simply going to be a subject to discuss or debate about maybe on TV platforms like this one. However, I do 100% think that regulation can at least reduce the school fees pressure that the parents are undergoing currently.
Okay. The whole idea of parents looking for expensive schools is about the quality and standard. As we conclude, I want you to speak to our viewers, especially parents or guardians. Is standard or quality education across the board? How do you find it? How do you see it? Because when you advise people that, hey, take kids to schools that you can afford, they will say, no, the schools possibly we afford may not be of the standard we would actually prefer for our kids. I don't know, I risk, repeating what we, but I think you need to to shed more light on the standard and quality. Will they get the quality education they expect?
I understand that very well, the idea of the parents thinking about looking for quality. So, but still it becomes meaningless for you to sell, for the bank to take your house that you have hustled in all your childhood years, because you are trying to look for the quality. You know, there is, in life there is what we want and what we can.
Yeah, what we
People
can.
should understand. Because if God has blessed you, it is okay, look for what you want. But if you are still struggling, you, as a matter of fact, your best choice is looking for what is available.
Wow.
You get my point? Someone who's rich, that person is going to eat what he wants.
Yeah, true.
If God blesses you, at least you have some kind of money. You have reached a level of eating what you feel. You eat your choice.
You have,
But if you are struggling,
have a variety of
you eat what
choices.
is available. So when it comes to the idea of paying school fees, so the struggling parents, struggling Ugandans who are feeding on a meal a day, my friend, the best option to live a happy life is going for what is available.
Finally, from you, what is, did you say for you at your school, you have a flexible policy on school fees?
Yeah, I said that. So one of the options that I must be honest and talk about when I talk about struggling parents, struggling Ugandans, going for what is available, schools, private schools that are going to be in the middle setting, like my Namangwana High School, we are very flexible. We accept installments. You come with what you have. Your child studies as you look for the balance. At the end of the day, we have challenged those big schools, by the way.
Sure.
Because if you look at O level last year, my best student got 8.
Sure.
And my school fees is 700 for senior for boarding. There are schools that I know I cannot mention here that are paying 2 million per term. They did not even get anyone with 18.8. I registered 57 candidates and 54 got first grades. So that is the best choice.
So it's not about school fees, huge school fees bill that guarantees results.
Our parents should settle down and also get to know the best schools available. Some of them have crammed the traditional schools. For them, the schools that they had about when they were growing. I don't want to mention the big schools, but for example, when we were still young, we used to hear about the likes of Namagunga, Nabingo. I don't want to say that right now they're not doing it. They could be doing it. But some of our parents, they have crammed those names. That a school he was yearning for when he's in primary. Right now, some of these schools have deteriorated academically. That is where they want to sell their things and take their children. So there are schools that have developed. Now I've talked about how our performance. I can even give you the evidence here. Even when you go to Google, my school is among the best schools in sciences.
My time is up, and thank you so much, Ronald, for your time. Thank you so much, our viewers. We've been talking about the school fees hustle that is still going on as we speak, as parents and guardians take back kids to school. Well, the message is very clear. Look for that school that understands you, that can actually accommodate your, that can fit in your income. That is possibly the best solution or the best idea. My name is Prince Apollo. Thank you so much for your time. We've heard from Honorable Semaganda Ronald. He's an educationalist, but also the principal for Namungona High School. Good evening. Let's catch up again next time on Friday in another edition of the Limelight. God bless you all. God bless Uganda.